Hi everyone. Recently, I've been getting asked this question a lot by both friends and viewers of the channel, and I wanted to make a video where I answer the question of what programming language you should choose. It may sound like a daunting question for new programmers, beginners, or newcomers to the industry, but I believe that a lot of newcomers really waste a lot of time thinking about this question as opposed to just picking something and learning, actually building, going through the motions. So I wanted to make this video as a be-all end-all where in the future if someone asks me what programming language should I learn, I can just redirect them to this video. Just a quick disclaimer that the advice that I provide in this video will be probably tailored more towards software engineers and programmers in the Southeast Asian region of the world, so Malaysians, Singaporeans, any other countries in this region. But I still believe that if you're in another region of the world, you will still gain value from this video because it will help you in your thought process on deciding what programming language is right for you. In my opinion, there are three different kinds of people who want to learn to program. You either want to build a career in programming or earn more money, or you want to understand computer science on a deeper level, or finally you might have an app idea or project that you want to build. And depending on which camp you're in, there may be a different language that is more suitable to you. So the way that I've laid out this video is I've divided it into three sections, and you can see the timestamps in the video description. So depending on which part is most relevant to you, feel free to jump around and watch that part. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so what language should you learn if you want to get hired as a software engineer or programmer in the industry? This largely depends on where you live and the supply and demand of different languages within that region. When I did research for this video, I looked on popular job search applications like JobStreet, Indeed, and Glassdoor, and I found that the best bang for your buck combo when it comes to programming languages to pick, in my region at least, would be some combination of JavaScript and Java or C#. When it comes to JavaScript is a really popular language and very in demand, along with its associated technologies like HTML, CSS, and other front-end frameworks. And the reason for this is because every company on the planet needs a website, and most companies are willing to hire JavaScript engineers in order to build them websites or front-end applications. Now, JavaScript is known to have a very low barrier to entry because it's an easy language to pick up and very useful. However, this also means that you will be going up against thousands of applicants who also are equipped with these technologies. When it comes to Java versus C#, they're both nearly identical languages. So if you learn one, you can very easily pick up the other. And the reason that they are so high in demand by corporations and large organizations is because of their stability and their maturity. They are often used to build large-scale distributed applications that serve millions of users. So if you want to work for large organizations, I highly recommend that you pick up either of these, especially if you're in the Asian region. Next up, what if you want to better understand computer science and programming on a deeper level? First off, I believe that you should definitely pick up Python. Python is a dynamically typed programming language, a very popular language that helps you to get a gentle introduction to the most fundamental computer science concepts. Things like variables, loops, functions, even basic data structures. If you want to begin a career in computer science, I definitely recommend that you first dip your toes in Python. After mastering Python, I think that the next step for you would be to start learning C. C is one of the oldest programming languages still alive to this day and still in very heavy use. Most programming languages in use today owe their existence in one way or another to C, and C is still very heavily used in operating systems and systems programming. If you want to really understand how computers work and how software works on a deeper level, I definitely recommend that you learn C, especially considering the fact that it teaches you how to manage memory, something that is often automated in more modern languages. Finally, if you really want to torture yourself, you can give assembly a try. Assembly is the closest thing to machine code without actually having to write zeros and ones. Every programming language in existence at some point or another gets compiled down into assembly code before being run on your CPU. So if you really want to understand every instruction that is run by your CPU, definitely give assembly a try. It is also very useful if you're getting into microcontroller programming. I believe that by being exposed to programming languages on various levels of abstraction, whether it's Python on the high level, C somewhere in the middle, and assembly being very bare bones near to the hardware, you will gain a really deep understanding of how software works and how it actually interacts with the hardware. Finally, what if you want to build an app or a website or some other kind of project? Again, this depends on what you're trying to achieve, because depending on your goal, there's definitely going to be a language out there that best suits your needs. For example, if you're trying to build video games, then the best language for you might be C++ or C#. But in my opinion, if you're just trying to build lots of different types of applications or websites or projects, then I would definitely recommend that you learn the JavaScript ecosystem. Now, the reason for this is because JavaScript is a very flexible language. On the front end, you have many different JavaScript frameworks like React, Angular, or Vue. And on the back end, you have frameworks like Express, which allow you to build very highly performant APIs. You can even use JavaScript to build mobile applications using things like React Native. Or if you want to build desktop applications, you have frameworks like Electron. The JavaScript ecosystem has become so diverse over the years that it can basically accommodate any platform that you throw at it. In short, if you're the kind of person who wants to build a lot of different things, if you have a lot of ideas and you want to make them into realities, I definitely recommend that you try out the JavaScript ecosystem. Alright guys, I hope this video helped you decide on what programming language you should choose to learn. And if it did, then please let me know in the comment section below which programming language you ended up choosing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.